welcome one, welcome all, and welcome to a beautiful race day at the virtual Lernerville Speedway. We are here for the Performance Racing Series, Performance Racing League 100 at Lernerville, presented by the NSR Challenge Series, presented by Ignite Sim Racing Network. We are live here on Ignite Sim Racing Network for the second ever race in the NSR Challenge Series. My name is Josh Patterson. I am joined by friend, colleague, and co-host Jay Mulder. Jay, how are you doing today?
Yeah, we're doing absolutely wonderful. I know it's not popular with a few people, but this is one of my favorite dirt tracks on the service. It's just, the racing is so intense, and the way you have to run that high side on that razor's edge every lap to find that speed, or, manage to keep your momentum up rolling around that bottom, is just a really fun racetrack and a lot of fun to see cars go around here. And I think we're in for another great show here tonight. We saw another great one last week at Eldora, and I think it's about time we get back after it again here.
Absolutely. Yeah, these guys going to put on a show here tonight. Lernerville, distinctly known on iRacing for being the one track on the surface without walls, at least in 3 of the 4 zones of the racetrack. Obviously, they got the front stretch wall, as you don't want a car flying into the stands, but as you head into turn 1, 2, the back straight, 3, and 4, there are no walls to protect you from flying right off the top of this racetrack. So it makes for quite an interesting, as we see Jeremy Sexton go off the racetrack and collect Richard Mondonca. But yeah, we see guys coming around the track here. 13 minutes left of practice. We got a lot of time for these drivers to get themselves acclimated with the racing surface. The dirt track, one that changes quite often. You're going to see this track progressing through the many different stages that dirt track faces throughout a race weekend, starting off very tacky and then likely moving to something that is much more slick. Obviously, these guys running in a tacky track right now, but yeah, currently Ethan Johnson on the top of the board.
Yeah, and as the night goes on, you'll see that top lane, definitely the fast line, but it'll start to get real shiny, and guys will have to move down the racetrack. Almost a little bit the opposite of what you usually see on a dirt track is it'll go top to bottom as that top loses grip, and you'll have to find a way to keep your momentum up while running down on that inside. You see them kind of doing a little bit of that right now, but you'll see that top lane get real shiny, and that's when it can get sketchy, and guys can go flying off the top over that berm there, that high banking. But that's where the speed is, and you really, like I said, have to ride that razor's edge all night long.
For sure, as these guys are going to be experimenting with every part of the racetrack, top, bottom, middle, and every line in between. Got a bit of experience with dirt racing, and I know the ins and outs pretty well. How likely do you think the slider line's going to come in as the night progresses here?
Yeah, I definitely think it'll be an option at some points here tonight. Not really sure where we'll see that at what point. But this track with that high banking, you can kind of send it off into the corner, especially in turns 1 and 2, and then kind of let it hang all the way out and up to the top and use that banking to your advantage, get the momentum going down the straightaway. So much of the racing in these dirt street stocks is that momentum, of course, and you kind of saw it right there from that 05 car as he sent it into the bottom, let it ride up the racetrack. That's Jordan Gage, and he's making some good practice times here on the racetrack. And yeah, pretty busy practice session, actually. Lots of cars on track trying to get a feel for it. And, get used to that high line, or maybe try and figure out that low line.
For sure. I mean, yeah, those lines are both definitely things that are going to be used. 100 laps around tonight, so plenty of time for this track to develop and move one way or the other, to be on the top, be on the bottom, or really anywhere that these guys are able to work it in. I know a lot of these drivers favor going to the top side, but it's a big risk reward element to this racetrack with the top side being able to bite you if you put 1 foot wrong. You hang that right rear out just a little too much, as Derek Rice running right on that cushion. So you put that right rear right above that cushion, and you're going to be going flying into the next, likely into the outside wall if you're coming off a 4, or into the forest if you're off a turn 2. So, yeah, definitely a lot of risk reward given the outside. So drivers might be looking to keep it down to the bottom, as Ethan Johnson will throw a little slide job there as we're running through the practice session. But yeah, it just goes to show how dynamic this track can get. So you'll see guys running the bottom to stay away from the risk of running the outside, and you'll see guys running the outside to try to go win the race.
Yeah, that top is definitely where a lot of that speed is, and another critical point here, like you mentioned, 100 laps around this racetrack. Guys are going to want to save that right rear tire up for the end, and I think a little bit of that will be controlling that throttle and try and manage that right rear tire, get to the end so you have a little extra in the tank perhaps to make a move at the end of the race. But throughout the night, it'll be interesting to see how guys try to manage their tires, manage their equipment, and have what they need down the stretch. Another point with this racetrack, not quite a perfect oval in 3, and turn 2 is a little sharper. So I think definitely that slider line, like we talked about, more advantageous in 1 and 2. And then 3 and 4, you kind of pick a line and stick with it. But very dynamic racetrack, and as dirt racing always is, these guys are going to be moving around, trying to find grip wherever they can, trying to find speed getting around the racetrack.
As we'll ride on board with Ethan Johnson here for a little bit. He's currently our leader here in the practice times. Funny enough, he wanted us to let you know that he sucks at iRacing while simultaneously being rated as the highest dirt racer on the platform. Ethan Johnson, at over 11,000 iRating. So self-proclaimed sucked at iRacing, but we believe he's pretty darn good, and showing that here as he's top quick time right now.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't even know how you get to 11,000 iRating. I mean, that's not only a lot of time, but dirt racing a little tougher because there isn't quite as many drivers on the service on that discipline. So having to find people to race against, and of course, even if you're winning, when you're that high of rating, you're probably not scoring a lot in every race. So I'm sure he's got a lot of races on the service and a lot of experience at all these different racetracks.
Yeah, for sure. Ethan Johnson in the EJR Cocky Floyd Consulting Dirt Street Stock, running out here tonight from Bakersfield, California. He's obviously going to be a big contender at that elusive victory after 100 laps here tonight. Another driver who's going to have a shot at it, currently sitting in pit road, of course, right when I switched to him. Jeremy Sexton in the 020, in the Cocky Floyd Consulting Sexton Home Maintenance Solutions JPAT Graphics Dirt Street Stock, as he now gets merged with another driver there. Those two very dynamic, both going to have a big shot at the win here tonight. We're sitting at 1-2 in the timing charts, only separated by, I believe, 0.04 of a second, a little more than. But 6.5 minutes left to practice here, and yeah, it's really anybody's game here tonight.
Yeah, and since we have some little extra time, we had a little issue getting the session going, had a little delay, so still lots of time left here in practice, or a fair amount of time. But figure I'd talk about pit road here. Pit road, very different than pretty much any other racetrack. You actually exit pit road right in turn 4, and you enter pit road right at the entry of turn 3 on the outside of the racetrack, and actually go behind those grandstands in 3 and 4. So a little different, a little unique, and just something cool about this racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this racetrack is definitely unique in a lot of ways, with both the amount of cushion that gets on the top without having to deal with the outside wall knocking you back down, the pits that are uniquely placed to put you right over the berm going into or coming out of turn 4, and honestly, if you're trying to pit at speed going off into turn 3, you're likely to just flat out jump, because there's a pretty big jump down there off of the racetrack, and I don't know, not unlikely to see drivers go flying trying to make that pit road entry.
Yeah, and of course, we've seen some real funny moments here at this track as well, with guys flying off the top. I know, I'm sorry to bring it up, Josh, but I've seen you go off the top a good handful of times here. It's very easy to do, try and find that speed in that high lane, as we get a look at James Ellington working in a little bit of that middle lane right now. And that's also a big part of this racetrack, is right in the middle, right below that slick there. And you see it's working quite well for him, as he's making good speed around the corner, and he's fourth on the lap time board right now.
James Cable Guy Ellington and the Ellington Construction Company, Doghouse Chassis, Cocky Flake Consulting, Ever Beaver Sawmill Co., MKR Fabrication, JPAC Graphics, Dirt Street Stock right there. He is a grandfather of 2, father of 4. We always appreciate him coming out to run some races with us. He's a frequent flyer in the Dirt Street Stock community, both in officials and in league racing. So good to see him out here once again making some good laps, sitting P4 at the moment with a 17.261. Good looking paint scheme out there. I'm a little biased, obviously, but yeah, I hope to see him make some good laps and run good tonight. Yeah, honestly, we got a lot of stories here with different drivers trying to make this race as good as they can for themselves. Currently top 5: Ethan Johnson, Jeremy Sexton, William Hargraves, James Ellington, and Jordan Gage making up your top 5 in practice. Currently 3.5 minutes left, just under. 23 drivers making time so far. I believe there are 23 in the server, so great car count here for this race tonight, the Performance Racing League 100 at Lernerville. So, yeah, cannot thank everyone enough for coming out, showing out tonight on the racetrack and in the stream. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining us here tonight, and these guys are about to put on a heck of a show. So, going to be a great, exciting watch here at Lernerville. Lernerville always produces great racing, and we'll get to see them do that once again.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of like you mentioned, this feels like a real who's who of the Dirt Street Stock world. You look up and down the board, there's so many notable names, so many great drivers that you see every time you hop into one of these Dirt Street Stock races. And it's cool to see that we really have the best of the best right here going at it tonight. And I think we're, like you said, in for a great show. Lots of hard racing. And I think this track, of course, lends itself to a lot of that slide job, that high side, that low side. It's going to be really interesting to see how these guys play it out.
Yeah, and speaking of the sheer talent level of this field that we have in front of us, I'm not sure the exact strength of field at the moment, but I know multiple 8+ Ks, even more 7+ Ks. I want to say the majority of the field is at least a 4,500 I rating, and that's just absolutely absurd for a field this big. It really is a who's who of Dirt Street Stock regulars. I mean, I recognize just about everyone in here from various races and top splits, from officials and leagues, from Dirt Street Stocks everywhere in the service. So yeah, definitely a great field we've got here tonight, and looking forward to seeing them do battle.
Just a minute left of practice coming up here, and then we're going to get into some qualifying and some heat racing before we go for that 100-lap feature. And of course, right now we're set to have 5 heats. Not sure if we'll fill that, but it'll be the top 4 advancing through those heats, and then a B main 15-lap race, and then after that the 100-lap feature, like we mentioned. And those heat races, 10 laps each, and we'll see how many heats we end up with. We'll get into that just after qualifying, but definitely going to be interesting as guys run their qualifying laps and then have to work their way forward through the heats to try and get that starting position they want.
Absolutely. And right before we head into qualifying here, let's take a look at our track info. We're at Lernerville Speedway in Sarver, Pennsylvania, USA. Track length is 3.7 miles. I believe that's a 3/8 mile dirt oval. We're on the clay oval configuration, the only configuration here at Lernerville. Obviously 4 turns and an altitude just over 1,000 feet above sea level. Great track here tonight. One that is close to home for me, so luckily, lucky to have this thing almost in my backyard, and we're going to see the checkered flag on practice, which means we're going to head into your qualifying here tonight for the Performance Racing League 100. See who's going to go out on track first. I believe it's going to be Carter Cornwell in the Yoo-Hoo number 18. Make his way down onto the racetrack. Father Randy Cornwell going to go out as well. These guys are...
sorry, go ahead.
I was just yapping.
I was going to say, so, as father-son duo there, you gotta wonder how family dinner goes before and after these races sometimes. Wonder if they ever get into it a little bit, run into each other out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, seems very wholesome from the conversations I've had with them, as we're gonna have Dylan Alton go to the pole. No, Jeremy Berger to the top of the charts in the 21 machine. It's a Red Bull race car. Dirt street stock here tonight. We've seen him in our other series, the American Thunder Super Speedway Series, so happy to see him making the transition over to dirt and running with us here in the NSR Challenge Series for the Performance Racing League 100. He'll go top time as for now. We're going to see Evan Monaghan coming down the front stretch now. He's going to be taking his lap time. You get 2 lap times here tonight to put down the fastest one to determine your starting position in your respective heat race. Ken Atha's going to shoot up to 3rd quickest. Monaghan will go to 4th. Great lap times from both Berger and Clunan, 2 regulars in the Super Speedway Series. So transitioning to dirt has gone very well. Tyler Ryan, host here, goes up to P4, passing Monaghan, but Monaghan gets him right back. He'll go to 3rd. As we wait for the real field killers to come out, so I should say. Got a couple guys in here who are definitely going to be sniffing a chance at the top of the board, and they'll be out very shortly, I assume.
Yeah, and of course, qualifying here, very, very important. It can be a little tough to pass, or, pass a lot of cars, especially in these dirt street stocks, is you really have to generate momentum, get a run going to make anything happen. So qualifying, very important. The heat race is going to be important as well to propel yourself forward, as William Hargraves is going to go top of the board now with a 17.793.
Hargraves goes to the top of the charts. Not a surprising thing there. Hargraves, one of the top drivers in dirt street stocks. As Ethan Johnson, there he goes. The 11K sucks at iRacing, goes off the top and gets pole position, at least temporarily. A couple drivers still. Dustin Hennigan beats him out. The great lap in the 16 junior. Dustin Hennigan going to go through turn 3 and 4. Actually, a really great lap, almost a 10th up on Ethan Johnson. Heck of a lap there from the 16. He'll catch the wall and will not go any faster on that second lap. A couple more drivers out on the track. Brian Wells in the 86. Going to be making his 2 laps here with just a minute left of qualifying. Got a few of them out right now. Carter, Ellington, Sexton, Castle, Gage all running their laps. Wells is going to go 2nd. Carter goes 7th. Pretty good laps for both of them. Jim Revis going to go to 4th. As we'll watch Jeremy Sexton as he goes through here. Sexton is an 8K on dirt oval. Jordan Gage going to go to the top of the boards. Huge lap from the 05. Great lap time right there.
Seems like this racetrack almost got quicker in a way. Those lap times really came in hot and heavy, and P3 and 4 actually tied in lap time right there at 17:7:04. That's Brian Wells, Jeremy Sexton, and all the way down at the bottom of the board. Yeah, it looks like I think we've got everyone through here in qualifying.
James Ellington coming around turn 4. He's going to be the last one to set a lap, I believe, and he will go 10th. P10 for the 17 machine. And that's going to conclude your qualifying here for the Performance Racing League 100. That means we will get into our first heat of how many we got here tonight, Jay?
3 heats coming up tonight. So top 4 will transfer through to the feature event, and then we'll see what the B main gives us when we get there. Got our starting lineup coming up right here for heat number 1.
All right, yeah. Starting lineup is going to be Jordan Gage, Jeremy Sexton, your front row for our first heat race here tonight. Row 2 is going to be William Hargraves in the 71. Next to him, James Ellington in the 17. Tyler Clunan is going to be inside of row 3 with Tyler Ryan, battle of the Tylers there in row 3. On his outside, row 4 is going to be Ricky Mondancha and Carter Cornwell rounding out your first heat.
All right, I think we're about ready for some racing here. I don't know about you, but I'm strapped in, dialed in, ready to go.
Yeah, sun's starting to go down there, starting to crest over the horizon. See a nice sunset peeking out. Gonna have a great night of racing in front of us tonight. And a great heat race lineup we've got here. Gage and Sexton, 2 guys who are absolutely capable of winning this race. And Hargraves and Ellington, 2 behind. I mean, all really, really great drivers here. I mean, you know, we're going to see an absolute bloodbath here at the front. These guys are going to go toe-to-toe and, you know, just absolutely go to war here through this heat race.
As the truck, pace truck makes that little jump off over the berm, and we get ready to go green flag racing. It's the heat number 1 of the PRL 100 here tonight, and we are underway.
It's going to be Jordan Gage taking the early lead. Sexton will fall back to second. Hargraves tries to shoot up and get P2 from him. Doesn't quite work. They're going to go 3 wide for second place. Yep, all the way 3 wide through. Hargraves into Sexton. Ellington might have gotten to Hargraves a little bit there. Keep it straight. It's going to be Ryan up on the top side. He wins that battle of the Tylers early. And huge battle through the midfield here.
Yeah, Jordan Gage looking behind him and not seeing a whole lot as the battle rages on into turn number 3. These guys using all of that racetrack, but right now no one really getting all the way up to the top as this battle continues off into turn 1 all over the racetrack. And there's Tyler Ryan right up the middle there.
Yeah, Gage has already used this opportunity to pull away. He is really happy with what he's seen in his mirrors as he is just gone at the moment. There's one spinning in the back. It's going to be Tyler Clunan. Will go for a little bit of a ride. He's going to be stopped on the outside of the track. Not sure if we're going to see a caution, but the battle rages on. Sexton holding off Hargraves. Looks like Ellington got caught on that bottom line just for a little bit. We'll be able to hold on to P5, but 4-car battle for second.
Yeah, and of course the top 4 will transfer through to the feature, and the battle continuing on. They're kind of lined up now, and this is where it can be a little tough to pass. You might see guys get a little frustrated, try to send it in deep to the corner, try to make a move to make that pass, but here they come back around. We're going to have 3 laps to go right there at the line. 5 laps to go.
All right, 5. Okay. All right, I can read. 5 laps to go at the line. You got me a little confused there, Jay, but we're all good. Already come back to 4 now as Hargraves goes off the top. Oh. He's going to hit the wall. Somehow keep it straight there in the 71. Just barely, as Carter Cornwell doing his best drifting impression down the front stretch. Hargraves lucky to keep that thing straight, but will lose a couple spots. So he's going to fall back to 5th. Ryan moves up to 3rd. Ellington moves up to 4th. Sexton now catching Gage. but will it be enough?
Yeah, he's reeled them in quite a bit. Now that they've single filed out, we'll see if right at the end here he'll have anything to say for that heat win to start on the pole for the feature event as we come back 2 laps to go this time.
2 to go. Gage is on the top of that racetrack. I mean, get a good view of it here as that right rear is just, now he runs the bottom, but yeah, just, right on top of that cushion there as we hit the white flag here. Gage is going to be far enough out. I don't think Sexton will be able to get a shot at his back bumper as, yeah, I mean, multiple car lengths there. Going through turns 3 and 4, your first heat race winner is going to be the 05 of Jordan Gage. Second's going to be Jeremy Sexton. Third, Tyler Ryan. Fourth, James Ellington. Fifth, William Hargraves. Sixth, Carter Cornwell. Seventh, Ricky Mondoncha. And eighth, Tyler Clunan.
Yeah, you saw right there that exit of the corner, getting that right rear right up there against that cushion, trying to find a little grip, a little momentum down the straightaway. But, Jordan Gage got to be really happy with that heat race right there as you saw the results there for a second. But heat 2 coming right up here, and we'll get the starting lineup.
I'll let you take this one away, Jay.
Yes, sir. Starting up front, it's that number... it's backwards there for me. Sorry about that. That's Dustin Hagen in the 16 car. He'll start on the pole for this heat number 2 race, and Ethan Johnson to his outside. That's going to be Seth Castle and Jason Gunnels in row 2. Row 3, we've got Evan Monaghan in 5th and Hunter Allen in 6th. And rounding out our field, we have Cody Heathcock in 7th and Derek Rice bringing up the rear in 8th.
Another stout field here for heat race number 2. I mean, yeah, the entire, there's a ton of guys in each one of these races who genuinely have the potential to go home $25 richer tonight. So, yeah, I mean, gonna see a lot of great racing through this one, as seems like we wait for one more driver, and nope, we will get moving now. I don't believe we see Derek Rice, 8th place starter here in heat race number 2. Might be pit starting. But
yeah, unfortunate there for him. Hopefully we do see him get on the racetrack at some point. But yeah, like you said, another big, strong field rather here for heat number 2. And a lot of great drivers. Ethan Johnson, of course, fastest in practice, and the 11,000 high rating that we talked about. But apparently he sucks at iRacing, which I don't know. I don't know if I believe that really at all, the way he's gone so far tonight and based off his stats.
Yeah, absolutely going to be a contender tonight, Ethan Johnson. But another contender here, Dustin Hennigan. Great qualifying lap, always fast here in the Dirt Street Stock. See him a lot more in the league side of things than you do in the official iRacing side of things, so always coming out to flex his muscles in league races and paying races like we have here tonight, as they're going to come through turns 3 and 4 and take the green flag. Dustin Hennigan's going to fire off Ethan Johnson with a great launch next to him. They're going to go side by side and take the green flag here for heat number 2.
Yeah, how about Ethan Johnson, that restart right there, and he's going to have momentum off turn number 2, try to get to the inside, and he's got that left rear quarter panel diving all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, sliding up through 3 and 4, and he takes the lead away, but battling back on the inside is Hennigan.
Hennigan shoots down to the inside, throws a slide job up to into front of Ethan Johnson. Ethan Johnson's gonna look back low. He's gonna throw another slide job of his own. It's Slider Fest right here at Lernerville tonight, and they're gonna go back side by side at the line. Johnson's going to try to block into a crossover as Hennigan slides up the track. And these two are just going at it for this heat race.
Yeah, absolutely. Unbelievable racing between these two as we see Johnson throw another slider there and back to the inside Hennigan. It's back and forth all the way around this racetrack. Off into turn 1, Hennigan going to take that lead away. Can he get the momentum up off the corner, though? He not quite. They're side by side again into turn 3.
Oh, and Dustin's going to block him down. Oh, and he's going to almost run himself off the track. They make contact into the outside wall. Johnson's going to force himself through Hennigan with the a block attempt there. Not quite going to make it work, but he's going to get the run and go back to the outside as we're already halfway through this heat race at the line. Oh, and Hennigan goes off the top.
Oh. Unfortunate, but he manages to get going quite well there. But, just an unfortunate end to that battle for Hennigan there, as he was right on that razor's edge. He unfortunately stepped over, but he's back to the outside. He's going to get that third position right back.
It's going to promote Seth Castle into second place in that number 4 machine. As they're going to be Dyson Torres. There goes Seth Castle off the top. But just as I mentioned him there, goes off the top on his own. That'll put Dustin Hennigan right back into second place. As we're going to see him able to hold off Evan Monaghan for now, but over a second and a half currently behind race leader Ethan Johnson. So Johnson flexing those muscles at the top of the field, but Hennigan currently holding off Monaghan for third, or for second, I believe.
It's that tough outside lane that we talked about all throughout pre-race. During practice, it's just so hard trying to find that speed up there. That's where the fastest lane is with that banking, but one slip and you're over the top and out of the racetrack.
As Ethan Johnson's going to come across out of turn 4, he's going to take the white flag here at Lernerville for heat race number 2. No contest here. He's going to go through the final corner. Ethan Johnson, coming off of turn 4, will be your heat race number 2 winner, followed up by, Dustin Hennigan goes off again. Monaghan's going to get second. Hunter Allen in P3. Hennigan will fall to P4 after that incident. Jason Gunnels will come home 5th. Cody Heathcock 6th. Seth Castle 7th. And Derek Rice, who did not start, will come home in P8.
And it's time for heat race number 3 here at Lernerville. We're going to set the final group of the field, and your starting lineup coming up right here.
Yeah, starting lineup for this one is going to be Brian Wells in the pole position. To his outside is Jim Revis. Row number 2 going to be Jeremy Berger and Braden Carter. Row 3 going to be Ken Atha and Dylan Alton to his outside. And running out row 4 and the third heat race tonight, going to be Randy Cornwell in the 22 and Blake Kennedy in the 75. Another stout field once again. All 3 heat races tonight just have been great. The 2 that we've seen so far have been really good. So hopefully we'll see another one here with this third heat race, and I think with the drivers we have in it, it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like we've said that every heat race, but that's because it's true. I mean, there's so many great drivers in this field. Like we talked about, the best of the best, it feels like, when it comes to the dirt street stock discipline. And we're going to set, it's not the easiest, actually, but the third in line, the 6th in line, and so on through the field for that feature event.
Yeah. We're going to have a lap and a half more of pacing here, I believe, to get us sorted out. Pace truck is going to go through turn 4 one more time. As I don't see Blake Kennedy out there with the field. He's going to follow the same route as Derek Rice. Neither of them starting their heat races. So, I don't believe anyone's getting eliminated tonight. I believe we are starting all 24, as there were 24 registered here for the Performance Racing League 100. So I believe we're starting everyone. I don't think there's going to be a B main, but Derek Rice, Blake Kennedy, both going to have a rough time getting through it. As Brian Wills launches to start heat race number 3, and we're green flag racing for 10 laps of heat racing here at Lernerville.
Yeah, and a great start there. But contact off turn number 2, and the tight racing continues as they battle off into turn 3.
It's going to be Jeremy Berger looking to the inside, going to make contact with Brian Wells and Jim Revis. going through turn 4. They're going to go 3 wide here just on lap number 2. Very close racing early on. Brian Wells is going to hold on to the lead right now. That bottom line doesn't look too shabby, though, as Jim Revis is going to throw a bit of a slide job. Almost makes contact there. Gives each other enough room. Very clean racing. Respectful from the 57 car, as they're going to go single file out now, at least 1 and 2, through turn number 1, and there's some little contact behind.
Yeah, real tight racing here between all of these cars, and as we've seen these heat races go on, that turn 1 and 2, not a lot of grip on that entry, as guys have used every bit of racetrack, but 3 and 4, that bottom still very open, very tacky, lots of opportunity. They're side-by-side for that 3rd position off into turn 3.
Actually, side-by-side for the lead as well. Braden Carter's going to throw a slide job on Jeremy Berger. Bit of contact there. I'm not sure if I'm happy about that. If I'm Jeremy Berger, Revis looking to the inside. Berger throwing a slide job back on Carter. It works. Clears the nose of the 5. And Carter seems like he's going to do the same here. Berger runs a bit through the slick, slides himself. And another slide job from the 5 of Braden Carter. Door each other going down the front stretch. And we have 5 laps to go in this heat race.
Yeah, it seems like the slide job is the name of the game tonight as Jeremy Berger makes that move back through the inside, but he's going to get slid once again. Tight racing there just across the bumper. And they're going to be door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel off into turn 1 once again.
Yeah, I know the battle for 3rd is raging on. Revis looking to the inside of Wells there for the lead a couple times, as Carter's going to throw another deep slider on Jeremy Berger. Berger's going to cut back down to his inside once again, and they're going to go side-by-side down the front stretch.
Yeah, 3 laps to go.
Contact.
Very tight right there. Managed to keep it clean. 3 laps, coming back to 2 laps to go for that 3rd spot. And the battle for the lead closing in a little bit as well.
Yeah, battle for the lead still about where it was previously. Closer than it was, but yeah, only a car length or 2 between Brian Wells, Jim Revis. Doesn't seem like Jim Revis is going to have anything for the back bumper of Brian Wells. The battle's going to be for 3rd, 4th, and 5th here, as Brian Wells is going to take the white flag, going to run that outside line that's been working for him all heat race, and going to go shoot through 3 and 4. Revis to the bottom, not going to make it work. Brian Wells is going to be your heat race winner. Contact off of turn number 4. Jeremy Berger is going to hold on to 3rd. Revis will get 2nd. Carter will get 4th. Dylan Alton slow off of turn 4, nearly spun out, but holds on to it. Falls all the way back to P7. Ken Atha, Randy Cornwell, 5th and 6th, respectively.
Yeah, a whole lot of contact right there, and looks like we're going to take 12 drivers from this B main event, so that will transfer everyone through. However, it will decide those back 12 positions in the starting order, and also give these guys a little more practice on this track, maybe a better feel of what they're going to have in the main event, as we'll have a look at our starting lineup.
Yeah, top 12 positions decided, bottom 12 being decided. Your starting lineup. In row 1, going to be William Hargraves starting on pole for this B main. Jason Gunnels will be to his outside. Row 2 is going to be Ken Atha in the 711 and Carter Cornwell in the 18, starting in 4th. Row 3 is going to be Cody Heathcock on the bottom and Randy Cornwell on his outside. Ricky Mondansha starts in P7 here in the B main. Seth Castle will start to his outside. Row 5 going to be Dylan Alton and Tyler Clunan. Row 6, Derek Rice and Blake Kennedy. Neither of those two are gridding here tonight, so going to be top 10 racing for the B main win.
Yeah, of course, the B main not necessarily where you want to be, but a good opportunity to get some more track time, get a better feel for the racetrack, and of course set your starting position for the main event. It's a lot easier coming from 13th than it would be from 24th, so these guys definitely still looking to make some moves, get further up in the field, and have a better opportunity at the main event here coming up shortly after this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you gave me the choice between starting P12 in the feature and starting first in the B main, I'd take starting first in the B main any day of the week. You know, especially since these drivers have already clinched their spot into the feature race. No one going home tonight. Pace truck is going to pull off to the inside. It's going to be William Hargraves, Jason Gunnels coming back to the restart. As we're going to go back, green flag racing here. 15 laps for our 4-hour B main. I saw Carter Cornwell get sideways and he gets turned. We'll go all the way around. Go off the top of the track, and I believe we'll stay green flag.
Yeah, green flag racing off into turn 3, and you see that dust really picking up now. We'll see that toward the end of the main event after they reform the track. More contact off turn 4 in the back, and they'll keep it straight, but oh my goodness, so much contact, so much drama all around this racetrack right now.
Yeah, Tyler Clunan got into the door. Randy Cornwell there through. Oh no, we got Cody Heathcock way off the track, and he'll slam the outside wall all the way off of turn number 3. He'll take that one back to the pits and call it a race for this B main. He's already moving on. Unfortunately, going to start further back than what he was hoping for.
Yeah, absolutely. He managed to find that wall way out there in the middle of 3 and 4. But the battle raging on back toward the front here as that battle for the 4th position in the B main heating up. That's Dylan Alton battling against Ricky Mandoncha. And wow, just great side-by-side racing there, using all the lanes on this racetrack.
Yeah, Alton making the outside work real nice. Mandoncha making the inside work real nice. As Mandoncha's actually going to clear up. I don't think he was quite clear. They make contact there. 93 sticks on the outside, 46R on the bottom. Oh. Contact behind. It's going to be Randy Cornwell sideways. He'll get into Seth Castle. Castle not having the night that he would have wanted, sitting way further, deeper in the field than I would have expected him to at the start of this. Still side by side for P4 right now. This is the closest battle on track.
Yeah, a lot of tight racing going on, and of course we're seeing that top lane start to slick off as, the leader sideways right there, got way loose. That grip on the top has gone away significantly, and I think that's a change for the lead. No, that was a lap car right there.
Well, it is a change for the lead, but it was caused by the lap car. Unfortunately, Carter Cornwell gets into the side of William Hargraves, and that allows Jason Gunnels to zoom right on by around the outside. So unfortunate for the 71 as the 71 of Hargraves is going to go off the top, hit the wall a little bit. He'll keep it straight, though, and maintain P3 now.
Yeah, these guys, got to give them credit for how they've recovered getting off the top in 3 and 4. I mean, we've seen it a couple times, but no one's really flown off other than that, Cody Heathcock. As the 18 car around in the middle of 3 and 4, right in the middle of the racetrack, nearly got ran into. I think everyone made it through okay, and we're going to keep it green. Carter Cornwell was just broadside to the racetrack there for a moment.
And his father, Randy Cornwell, right in front of the field right now. Hopefully he can get out of the way and not cause a change of position like we saw out of his son in the 18. But Jason Gunnels now built up almost a second gap over Ken Atha there in P2. Hargraves not quite catching the back bumper of the 7-Eleven, but 4 laps to go here in the B main here tonight.
Yeah, of course, like we mentioned, all these cars will advance to the feature event, just saying the back half of the field position-wise, but lots of crazy racing, and you're seeing maybe a little preview of what we might see toward the end of the feature. A little contact there off turn 4 between those two. But, yeah, this track slicks off, and it can get pretty treacherous trying to run that high side.
Yeah, Seth Castle desperately trying to get around Dylan Alton there in the 93 as we go 2 laps to go this time by at the line. It's going to be Jason Gunnels way out front right now. Ken Atha sitting in second, William Hargraves third, Ricky Mandoncha in fourth, Dylan Alton still holding off Seth Castle, running P5 at the moment as Gunnels will take the white flag here in the B main at Lernerville.
Ooh, that was close. Carter Cornwell was sideways again and used some well, I don't know what you'd call that, but he drove it off the track intentionally, getting out of the way and coming back to the finish. that'll be the end of the B main. That's going to be, excuse me, that's going to be Jason Gunnels getting that top spot over Ken Atha.
Yeah, Gunnels will take home the B main win. Will start in 13th here tonight. Ken Atha will take home second place. William Hargraves in third. Ricky Mondoncha in fourth. So we can get these results up really quick. Dylan Alton in fifth. Seth Castle sixth. Tyler Clune in seventh. Rennie Cornwell eighth. Carter Cornwell ninth. Cody Heathcock rounding out your B main here tonight. So we have a little bit of a warm-up. 3 minutes for these drivers to go back out, get their cars warm, get themselves warm for this feature event.
Yeah, and of course the track getting reformed for
here
the
comes
feature.
the cavalry. Look at that view.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone and their mothers is excited to get on track.
Yeah, get a feel for it. Run the track in a little bit. The track getting reformed, so it's going to be tacky once again for the start of this race, and they'll have a lot of grip in the early going. You'll see, wow, look at those cars come out pit road.
Yeah, I believe that might have been just about everyone here getting onto the track, as we'll see Dustin Hennigan go to the top of the boards early in this little warm-up session. But yeah, I mean, we've seen a ton of really, really great racing so far, as
they're just flying.
Yeah, everyone is just taking the moment to warm up their cars, and it seems like they've reformed the track quite nicely. So now much tackier than it was in that last B main. So we'll see how that affects the racing. 100 laps here tonight, so a lot of racing to be had, as we'll have all 24 drivers in this feature event.
Yeah, of course, with reforming the track, that top lane will be the preferred line. Lots of grip up there, lots of dirt to lean on, if you will, and get that run off the corner. They're going to be going absolutely full throttle all the way around the track, and just wide open racing is seeing a little bit of car around on the front stretch. Sorry about that. There's so much going on out here right now.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, just drivers, I mean, this is essentially means nothing, as, you know, they're just trying to get around the track. They if they get any damage, it doesn't affect anything, as I just heard a motor expire and a car flipping. Yeah, multiple
we
cars
had a couple
flipping.
upside down over there.
Yeah, well, yeah, these drivers doing their best to have a little fun before the start of this thing, as we watch Ricky Mondoncha in the 46R Sullen Mastermind Performances dirt street stock here in front of us. Sprint car mechanic in real life, as well as a rear wheel mini stock driver. So good to see him getting onto the sim and running some laps with us. I actually ran with Ricky way back in the day, years and years ago, in an old league. So nice to see him showing up again and making some laps with us. And yeah, obviously we are fortunate to have him here in the field, as we're going to see the end of the warm-up. That means only one thing. What time is it, Jay?
Let's get ready to rumble.
It's feature time here for the Performance Racing League 100 at Lernerville, presented by the North-South Racing Challenge Series, presented by Ignite Sim Racing Network. Longest name in history, by the way, as we're going to see our feature race lineup. On your pole is going to be Jim Revis in the 57. I believe a little bit of an invert going on has allowed Jim to take over the pole tonight. I think it was a top 2 invert from
top
each
6
of those. Yeah, so top 2 from each heat race, top 6 total. That puts the 57 on the pole tonight. Evan Monaghan will start to his outside. Row 2 is going to be Jeremy Sexton in the 2020 on the inside. Brian Wells to the outside. Row 3 going to be Ethan Johnson in the 11. Jordan Gage to his outside in the 05. Row 4 is going to be Tyler Ryan and Hunter Allen. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be Jeremy Berger and James Ellington.
Further back in row number 6, we've got Dustin Hennigan and Braden Carter, two really good drivers. Then row 7, we're going to have Jason Gunnels, our B main winner, alongside Ken Atha to his outside. Then we've got William Hargraves and Ricky Mandoncha. Row 9, we'll have Dylan Alton and Seth Castle. Then row 10, we've got Tyler Clunan and Randy Cornwell. Rounding our field, we're going to have Carter Cornwell and Cody Heathcock.
So these guys are going to take their 2 pace laps before we go green here. Let's look at our race info. 100 laps here tonight, 36.5 miles around this 3/8 mile racetrack. Trapped up currently 84 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 cars in the session, 24 in this feature. Strength of field currently 3,500. iRating, which is quite high. In-game time is 8:30 p.m. As we're going to see the pace car shoot off to the right side of the track. And it's going to be Jim Revis, Evan Monaghan coming back to the restart zone. We're going to see Jim fire on the inside, and we're going to be racing here for the Performance Racing League 100 at Lernerville.
And watch these cars fan out. They're nearly 4 wide further back there. But great racing already as these guys using every last inch of real estate, and a clean first lap. But those restarts can be really tough coming off that high side and getting down that front stretch. They were all over the place.
All over the place indeed. They're still 3 wide through here. A lot of cars still 2 wide. Ethan Johnson down on the inside of Jordan Gage. Jeremy Sexton into the back bumper a little bit of Brian Wells. Evan Monaghan holding on to P2. Jim Revis trying to pull away in the lead, and it's making it happen right now. Currently half a second gap from first to second. Almost 3 wide there as Gage goes to the bottom of all of them. Gage looking to try to make something work down, way down on the bottom. Going to make a slider up to the top. Not going to work. Going to sit back in P5 and cycle in behind Jeremy Sexton.
Yeah, you didn't really see that top lane dominance in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, we're kind of seeing that slider line that we talked about where you drive it down in on the bottom and let it hang all the way out to the outside. And Revis going to come back around, lead lap number 4. Great start for him is taking advantage of that invert, putting him on the pole for this one.
Not only taking advantage of the invert, but actually getting the fastest lap of the race. Revis got some speed here tonight under the hood of that 57 machine there, able to hold on to the lead and hold his gap right now to Evan Monaghan in second. Watching a little further back, a ton of battling going on throughout the midfield. Jeremy Berger, Tyler Ryan, James Ellington, Hunter Allen all battling through here. 4 cars in a cluster, a couple more behind him of Braden Carter and Dustin Hennigan. Hennigan's got a lot of ground to make up tonight since he unfortunately lost some ground at the end of his heat race. Came home 4th when he really should have finished 2nd. So not up in the front where you usually see him, as we got one off the top. It's going to be Hunter Allen. Pulls right back down in front of everybody, and we stay green.
Yeah, and you're really seeing in 3 and 4 2 distinct lanes form as that top and bottom places to be right now. It'll be interesting to see how that outside already starting to get a little shiny, a little rubber laid down up there. It's going to lose grip progressively, but 1 and 2, you really see it. It's just dive it in on the bottom and let it slide all the way around. But look at those guys attack that bottom lane in that left front tire nearly in the grass.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get so low down into turn 1. I mean, it's honestly shocking that they keep it from spinning out. It's such a big dip down there once you hit the grass. I mean, you're dropping at least a foot or two as you go over that little berm there on the inside. As it seems like Evan Monaghan's trying to mount a charge onto the back bumper of Jim Revis. They're almost went side by side there for a minute. If Monaghan can make his way to the outside of Revis, I think it's going to be hard for Revis to be able to hold him off, as well as now to the back bumper of Monaghan as well.
Yeah, it really seems like protecting the right rear is going to be the name of the game, not letting someone get to your outside and keeping them to the bottom, keeping your momentum up, and being able to motor past them on the outside down the straightaway with that momentum off the top. Revis still doing a great job. He's led every lap thus far and looks pretty confident out there as he dives to the bottom of 3 and 4 and maintains that lead. But here comes Monaghan.
And it seems like the field is mostly single-filed out now as everyone seems to have found their groove, found their lane, as Monaghan having some internet issues as soon as we go on to him, but comes back, and I'm going to maintain his P2 through here as it's a three-car breakaway at the moment. Knowing Jeremy Sexton probably trying to save some tires early on into this one, as he's usually one who doesn't like to push the car too early. That's why you see the gap from third to fourth build up. Wells, a very fast race car right now, trying to shoot for the race lead, but currently stuck behind the two of the 57 and the 13E.
Yeah, and in turns 1 and 2, we're seeing that cushion move up a little bit as those guys continue to work right on that right rear on that cushion and get that momentum through the corner. They're not diving down quite as much anymore getting into turn 1 and moving all the way up, and that's when you can start to see cars fly off that outside.
And here comes Dustin Hennigan starting to make his way through the field up into P10 now. Just made a difficult pass on Braden Carter. Carter, as we saw, not one to give up the spots easy, as he had a heck of a battle with Berger in the heat race there, but Hennigan able to get around him and now able to set sight on the 21 of Jeremy Berger. Everyone else kind of single-filed out through the top 15. I see Ken Atha there side-by-side back for 16th, but nothing doing as of yet, as drivers up front still single-filed out, trying different lanes, definitely searching to make something work, but nothing doing as of yet.
Yeah, of course, when you start searching, you start to use up that right rear tire a little more, and not really what you want to be doing necessarily. Obviously, you want to try and get as far forward as you can, but you want to save that right rear tire to have more at the end. And searching around, you're pushing that throttle, trying to find any kind of speed as we see, not quite side by side, but that battle for second, it's been pretty close. They haven't quite got side by side yet, but definitely hard racing between those two as they chase down our leader, Jim Revis, who has led 20 laps and led the whole thing.
Already a fifth of the way through this race. I mean, this race has absolutely been flying by. You're actually going to see our first bit of lap traffic as we got Carter Cornwell in front of the field. Judging by the way these drivers struggle to get around him in the heat race, we see a pass for fourth. Gage is going to slide up in front of Sexton. And will take over the fourth spot as they're going to go back side by side through turns 1 and 2. Looks like Gage is going to be able to pull away with that spot. Gage will go to P4. And here comes Brian Wells to the inside of Evan Monaghan. But as I was saying, if these drivers struggle to get around Carter Cornwell as much as they did in the heat and the B main, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here now that he's in front of the field.
Yeah, Brian Wells has maybe found a little speed in 1 and 2 as he runs around that high side, and he's pulled up back-to-back laps right to that rear bumper of Evan Monaghan, and it looks like he could have something on the high side. Keep an eye on him in turns 1 and 2 here.
Absolutely. Wells and Gage both to the outside, both the only drivers to the outside. Here comes Brian Wells to the inside of Evan Monaghan, going to throw another slider. There's Carter Cornwell in front of the field. Serving as a bit of a roadblock right now. He'll stay low and seems like he'll get out of the way, which is a good move on his part. Wells' highest car on the racetrack right now, especially through turns 1 and 2. A lot of contact as they're starting to get antsy.
Yeah, they got their right rear right on that edge there of the cushion, and they're working it in quite well. As Ethan Johnson's up to 4th, he started 5th, fell back to 6th, but now starting to move forward, and we see Wells going to get to the outside.
Oh, contact! Oh my goodness! Back in the field. Ethan Johnson, I guess, had enough of Carter Cornwell. Not too sure what transpired before that, but I just saw Johnson feeding the biggest door in the world to Carter Cornwell as Brian Wells gets around Evan Monaghan. Now going to shoot to the low side of Jim Revis. Now he can throw a slide job. Jim protects low, and we got a caution.
Yeah, not seeing anyone stopped on the racetrack anywhere aside. Perhaps Cornwell right there. That's Carter Cornwell on the outside of turn 3. The only car I saw stopped. We'll have a look at the replay, see if we can figure this one out.
Yeah, I believe that was from Ethan Johnson, at least. I'm not sure if he was the catalyst or the cause there, but it goes to the bottom. Cornwell is just kind of running there. Yeah, doors him up the track, and Carter Cornwell goes flying off the racetrack, hits that jump I was talking about does
Oh,
a
wow.
barrel roll, ends up in pit lane, and it seems like tries to come back out on track, but just ends up stopping and bringing out the yellow flag. An untimely yellow, as there was some great racing heating up.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate caution. That's, I mean, the game will put it on Carter Cornwell there, but I don't really blame him. He was trying to stay out of the way, trying to just rejoin the racetrack, and unfortunately it was pointed the wrong direction and went for quite a ride there.
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned beforehand when we were sitting here watching practice, that turn 3 exit there and the pit and then subsequently the pit entry is a bit of a rough transition. And well, I said that it wasn't uncommon to watch cars fly, and well, we just saw a car fly.
Yeah, usually when you're driving a car, you want to keep all 4 wheels on the ground, but yeah, we've seen these guys get 3-wheeling it down there on the bottom as we come back through the restart zone, and we're going to get back underway. Jim Revis hangs on to the lead, but he's got trouble on his outside and trouble from behind.
Revis going to throw a slider up. Gage is going to block anywhere Wells could go. It kind of just
Oh.
sticks Wells in the sucker hole there a bit, as he's going to have nowhere to go. Gage is going to go for a deep slider on Revis. They're going to make contact. 4 wide off the corner. 3 wide now. Still contact. Ethan Johnson's going to shove his way by as well. Tough sequence of events for Jim Revis as he kind of just gets bullied out of the way.
Yeah, it looked like
Oh,
those
wrecking
guys
in the back.
said it's time. Oh, lots of cars around. Hard contact there. Still green at the moment. Caution now coming out.
Oh, no.
And, oh no, he might be stuck.
Back her up. All right, he got it.
There you go.
If I didn't know I was watching a dirt street stock race, I think I might be watching the Karate Kid with that one. I gotta look at this replay. So we got the restart here, and my eyes are all the way on Seth Castle, as there are already a ton of contacts. Braden Carter down to the inside, loses a bit of time. It seems like Castle got into Allen, which got into Hargraves, which got into... Hey, look at that. Like a flying kick from Seth Castle up to the top of the racetrack. Unfortunately, he'll get the worst end of the deal there. But unfortunate. It seems like he is the only one to really get truly badly affected by that. A little more contact in the back. I see some drivers stopped, or at least temporarily there. Not entirely sure what that was about.
The pace track was behind the field and was a little lackadaisical trying to catch up to the leader. And a little bit of contact back there, but I don't think anyone got any damage from it.
Yeah, sometimes a pace car driver either seems to be one of 2 ways. Either you need to put a hot dog on a stick in front of him to get him to go faster, or he's drifting through the track at, Mach 3, trying to go through everybody, and it usually gives you a bit of a Code Brown moment, as we're going to see Jordan Gage, Ethan Johnson coming through turns 3 and 4, and back to green flag racing here on lap number 29.
These two side by side, head to head. It's going to be tight racing off into 1, but Johnson going to slide all the way up and take that lead. But back to the inside, here comes Jordan Gage. He's going to send it off into turn 3, all the way across the grass there.
As
slides up in front.
Gage is going to get a huge run, going to get it back down to the bottom, go for a slide jump. A little bit of contact there. Ethan Johnson looking low as Hennigan throws a big slider right behind him. A lot of stuff going on right now as Ethan Johnson chucks it through the grass once again. He's going to slide up, and it looks like he's going to get the lead here. As here comes Brian Wells behind as well.
Yeah, these two battling has brought that third car into the picture, and lots more racing. They're 3 wide almost throughout the field. It looks like a pack race at Daytona right now as they dive it off into turn 3 once again. It's crazy how low they're getting on the racetrack.
As it seems like that low lane finally doesn't quite pay off for Ethan Johnson. He's going to get left out there as Gage and Wells are going to go by him on the outside, at least temporarily. Gage seems to be clear. Wells is trying to follow suit. As there's still a ton of racing in this race. We're just a third of the way through this thing, and it is already insanely good racing.
Yeah, now that they're single file out a little bit, they might break away from the pack. Those top 3 is the pack further back here. You see 3 wide racing off into turn 3, and not a lot of room out there to get around anyone, it seems like.
Yeah, a bit of three-wide action through the middle of the field is this track really proving that all three lines can and will work right now. As James Ellington makes a couple passes down there on the bottom. Evan Monaghan running the middle right now seems to be one of the only drivers who isn't stuck doing that. As there's wrecking behind, it's a big one. There's going to be your yellow flag.
Yeah, it looks like that left front broke in on that car right there. That's the 22 Randy Cornwell. You hate to see that. Well, you gotta look at the replay, get a better idea of what happened here.
As we can see, they're battling here. The one I saw most damage was Cornwell, but I believe it happened in front of him. Braden Carter.
Oh, yeah.
North Castle, where was it? Oh, yeah. My goodness.
Yeah, went for a little jump right there. Jumped over the wheel.
Let me get one more quick view of that. We'll get back to green flag racing here. It looks like it was Richard Mondancha got into the side of Hunter Allen there, and yeah, a couple drivers for a big ride there.
And unfortunately, Randy Cornwell hitting that outside wall pretty hard. That's probably enough damage to end his day. We'll see if he can make it back out here, but a lot of damage to that 22 car.
As we're going to see these drivers back to pacing, as yeah, a couple drivers are going to be coming out of pit road. I believe there might be a faster pair, as that 22 Randy Cornwell machine had definitely broken a tire, but I believe I see him coming back onto the racetrack, as results seem to be cycling through who is where. Yeah, some excellent racing so far, though, and really some incredible battles here. And these guys have been able to, it's been really great racing between Jordan Gage, Brian Wells, Ethan Johnson up here in the front since they got around Jim Revis. Jim Revis, unfortunately, has fallen back to, I believe, 6th. Although the results don't seem to want to work right now that we're sitting under caution flag, waiting for the pace truck to pull off. Here it does.
And just real quick, there is one faster pair, so Randy Cornwell likely took that and got back in the race.
All right, and we're going to see Jordan Gage fire off pretty early, get through the restart zone, and go back green flag racing here on lap number 37. He's going to get back up to the high side, going to pull Brian Wells in tow. Ethan Johnson not able to make it work on the bottom. It's an incredibly aggressive line, not quite as aggressive through this one, but not working as much either. And here comes Dustin Hennigan as well.
Lots of tight racing, and guys definitely trying to find grip out there as Gage leads the way. Tight racing side by side, trying to find any grip they can as that top is really starting to wear out now.
Yeah, I mentioned Hennigan early. Wanted to see, to keep an eye on him and watch how quickly he'd be able to get through the field. At the time, he was P11, now sits in P3 and see if he can get by Ethan Johnson, one of the toughest guys in the Dirt Street Stock community to actually get around, as they're going toe-to-toe, battling quite hard here at Lernerville.
Caution to come back out, and I think Randy Cornwell was stopped on the exit pit road trying to get back on track. It's what it looked like. I'm not sure we had any incident there.
It seems like he's lost a tire.
Oh, maybe.
So I believe something transpired, whether it was with him in another car or with him in the outside wall. We're going to see right here. Shifts it in a little too hard, and boom. Yeah, big impact with the 22 in the outside wall. Go back to live while we're sitting here waiting under the caution flag. Still Gage out front, Wells running in second. Great time now that we sit under caution to take a look at your mid-race info. Currently 39 laps complete out of the 100 on the schedule for tonight. 4 cautions, which is not bad at all, considering how much of this tight, great racing that we've seen so far. Obviously, 0 caution laps, as caution laps do not count here in dirt racing. Still 21 cars remaining in the sim. However, I do not believe all of them are on the lead lap. I believe, at least. And we've had 3 lead changes and a current average lap time of just under 18 seconds at 17.91.
Yeah, we started off really clean racing for a long time there, but this track is worn in. It's gotten a little treacherous out there, and these guys really trying to find anything they can. Is Jordan Gage going to fire off and take the green flag? He's not quite going to clear for the lead there, but 3 wide for second now.
Yeah, it's going to be Brian Wells up on top again. Hennigan in the middle now, and Ethan Johnson on the bottom. Those are 3 very dangerous race cars, and here comes Hennigan, slides. Holy cow, what a slide job. He's going to get up in front of Brian Wells. Going to clear him there, and here goes a slide jump for the lead.
Yeah, it looked like he was having enough of that 3-wide battle and said, I want to take it, and then went for the lead, and he's going to have another shot here in 3 and 4, and I think this time he might keep it.
Yeah.
Back to the inside is Gage.
Gage going to look
Caution
to the
out,
inside now. Oh. My goodness.
Fortunate timing for the caution. Not sure he was going to get the lead. It looks like Hennigan's going to get it, actually.
Yeah, heck of a battle there for a minute. Let's see what the caution was, as we seem to have reached a bit of a bottleneck here. As it seemed like it was 21 of Jeremy Berger who is the cause of the yellow. Clunan comes down hard, clips into the 21 of Berger, and that's going to send Berger for a bit of a spin. Contact between the two of them, and we'll go back under caution once again.
Yeah, unfortunate incident. We see that pretty often here, though, where one car has a little more speed getting in the corner and nowhere to take it, and runs into the back of more like the door of the car in front, and that's an incident that I think we've all had here before at Lernerville.
Absolutely. I mean, and really in any dirt track, and anyone trying to diamond the corner off and try to, enter high, exit low, you got a guy right behind you who enters low and doesn't really see you coming down, and that seemed like it was exactly what happened there on that last wreck. In other news here, Dustin Hennigan's going to be hard to beat. Just straight up. He's clearly one of the quickest cars, if not the quickest car here tonight, and maneuvers his way to the lead, gets a lucky break there with the yellow flag, and yeah, it's going to be a challenge for anyone to get right back around him. Jason Gunnell's going to shoot off to the top. I'm not too sure what happened there, but we're going to see Hennigan fire off. Gage try to fire off as well. Doesn't quite get as good of a restart as he was hoping for, but we're going to be back green flag racing, and seems like we're immediately going to have a yellow flag once again. Not sure what that one was for.
Sorry about that. We're back here.
Okay. We're going to look at a replay, see if we can figure out what that was all about. The only cause I could see was maybe the zero of Jason Gunnell's, as he kind of just hooked it left. Maybe that brought out the yellow?
That's a weird one, but yeah, I didn't see anything on my end. I was just coming back, had to go get my sandwich and, grab a quick bite to eat there.
You and your mid-race sandwiches.
It's, all this good racing gets me hungry, man.
I get you. It seems like we might go to single file restarts here, as we've had a couple of them in quick succession. Obviously not what you want to see here in a race like this, because when it's been green, it's been some incredible racing. These guys have shown really great racecraft towards each other, and maybe we still will be double file, as the 93 of Hunter Allen, the 25, the 93, sorry, of Dylan Alton seems to be coming out of pit road now. Get some damage repair, maybe take his fast repair as well. As it's going to be Dustin Hennigan now, your race leader. He's going to take the restart on the inside of Jordan Gage. Brian Wells and Ethan Johnson going to be in row number 2. As Pace Truck's going to stay out for one more time around. It seems like everyone was expecting to go green there, but we will stay pacing for one more.
Yeah, I think that caution got extended by a lap for whatever reason. Maybe a car was stopped or something like that, but should be going back to green this time around. And yeah, not a lot of room out there. That top lane really slicked off, but also that bottom really tough to nail, get quite right, and guys running into each other a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like there's a bit of impatience and a bit of the track tightening up just a little more than guys are comfortable running, as it's going to be Hennigan firing now to take back the green flag. Now on lap 45, he's going to get clear of Jordan Gage going into turn 1.
And diving all the way down to the bottom, but further back, everyone using every lane they can find as we're seeing some 3-wide racing off into turn 3.
Got a contact there for P2. Gage got into the side of Ethan Johnson. Johnson way down to the bottom. Going to get a nice run off. Not going to get clear of Jordan Gage. And yeah, this screams like the type of race that Dustin Hennigan, now that he's up front, has the potential to run away with. Brian Wells goes off the top. Going to come back onto the track, only barely in front of Evan Monaghan. Going to hold on to that 4th place spot, at least temporarily. Close call there for the 86.
Yeah, that was a crazy moment right there. Incredible car control to get that thing back on the racetrack without spinning out. That was absolutely crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys putting their money where their mouth is here. As here comes Jordan Gage. Oh, William Hargreaves into the outside wall. He's still in the outside wall. Gonna save it. Seems like, yeah, here comes Jordan Gage with a run on Dustin Hennigan. Gage gonna shoot to the inside. He's going to throw a slide job, and, of course, here comes the yellow flag.
Yeah, unfortunate timing for the caution there, as Gage going to have to give the spot back, but it looked like he had it under control. Not sure what brought out that caution.
Look for it here. See if we can find any kind of inkling of what the cause was.
We're hearing from race control the 2 car, Tyler Clunan. Not sure.
Oh, yep, there it is.
Oh yeah, he got turned around right there.
Clunan with an innocent spin, but a spin nonetheless, brings out the caution flag, and we get another one just before halfway here.
Yeah, that real quick 360 got back going. You'd hardly tell that it brought out the caution.
Yeah, an unfortunate little spin there, and we'll bring out the yellow and see these guys stack back up once again here, as Hennigan manages to hold on to the lead through that. It's, dare I say, another lucky break there with the yellow flag, as just came under fire from Jordan Gage and was going to be, up to his teeth with a battle there, and able to get him re-racked and restacked before it really kicked off. So we're going to be here going green on lap 49 of 100. It's going to be Dustin Hennigan, Jordan Gage going through the restart zone once again. Hennigan's going to fire off now. We're going to go back green flag racing here at Lernerville.
Again, good restart there, but Jordan Gage was right on his back bumper. We'll have to wait and see what Gage does this time around, as he's got a big run off the top, and I think he's going to go for it here. Yes, he is, to the inside of turn number 3, and he's going to slide all the way up. Can he hang on and take the lead away? Hanging back to the inside, though, and I think we're going to get another one of these battles.
And a battle indeed, as here comes Jordan Gage back to the bottom. They're going to go slider for slider and just absolutely try to beat each other through. Jordan Gage will be up in your race lead now. He's going to fully get clear of Dustin Hennigan. Hennigan's going to go to the bottom. Seems like he's going to stay down there, not quite going to throw the slide job. And he's going to have to fall back into second. Brian Wells still digging out there on the top, but kind of gives up and realizes that not a great idea to come right back out on the track.
Yeah, unfortunate. Wells was right there involved in the battle pretty much, and just went off the top ever so slightly, and all it takes is just dropping that one wheel off, and off you go. And Gage is cleared quite decently now. A couple car lengths on second place in Hennigan, as he'll lead lap 52 right there.
Yeah, Gage able to pull out a bit of a gap now as he's been able to solidify the lead after that restart. With a nice move through, a nice couple slide jobs there to get himself clear of the 16 junior. And Gage will be able to pull away there in the 05. That means we'll be able to take a look back through some of the other battles we've got going on right now. It's a lot of battling throughout the field. James Ellington, Evan Monaghan side by side there, and 3 wide right behind him. Ken Atha, Tyler Ryan, Seth Castle, Jim Revis in between those 2 big packs. Now fighting side by side with James Ellington. Ton of battling here.
Yeah, field definitely clearing out a little bit of debris on the backstretch, and we see a battle right there further back, but single filed out quite well and did take off some laps here, I think, the way we're running.
Unfortunately, Brian Wells falls all the way back to P17 after what has been a really great run so far for him. One mistake there puts him all the way back, and we'll see these guys all running through the field now. And it seems like Dustin Hennigan now has a bit of speed. I'm going to see a slide job from William Hargraves. Hargraves deep into the grass, actually hits his nose onto the, almost does an endo there as it's a nose stand on the grass. Does not make that pass successfully, but top 3 seems to be closing up now.
Yeah, that top lane right on that razor's edge we've been talking about all night, and those guys seem to have found a little bit more speed up there, a little bit more grip. And now that top 3 really coming together is Ethan Johnson now bringing up that 3rd spot. They're all kind of rubber banding back together.
Yeah, I mean, those 3 are absolutely the class of the field right now, as they have a 3-second gap back to William Hargraves and Jeremy Sexton battling side by side for 4th, as it's going to be a slide job for Dustin Hennigan. Going to clear Gage. Gage will shoot right back through, and here comes Ethan Johnson with a slide job of his own.
Yeah, if these 2 get caught up battling each other, Johnson's just going to drive right on by and 3 wide for a brief moment there. Hennigan in 2nd. He's going to follow right in the tire tracks on the outside. Johnson down on the inside. And Gage still holding on to the lead right now.
Gage doing a great job to defend from Hennigan and Johnson right behind. Seemed like he was able to pull away for a little bit there, but they've been able to find some speed and run him back down. Here comes Hennigan down to the bottom. Not going to throw a slide job, just going to run down the slick. Carter Cornwell sideways in front of them, and that's going to be a caution flag.
Unfortunate caution right there. Just thankfully not a bigger incident. He just got sideways right in front of the leaders. We'll have a look at it on the replay.
I believe this was caused by the 18, although I'm kind of surprised it threw it for such little. Gets sideways there. Yeah, actually, yeah, fully 90 degrees. Yeah, broadside, like you said earlier. And brings out the yellow flag there.
Yeah, thankfully the leader's able to avoid that and not run into him. But yeah, just sideways to the racetrack, and could have really taken out one of these top 3 cars or any other car. I mean, just crisis averted.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we sit here under the caution flag, I would like to give a big shout out to the Performance Racing League. They have come on to sponsor this race, put on this race, and give the payout out to the winners. So, Performance Racing League, Tyler Clunan, big shout out to those guys over there. Go out and race with them today.
Looks like we're going to double it back up here and get back to racing momentarily. That top 3 got away quite well, but now they're back in the jaws of the field, and we'll have to see if they can get away like they did before, or if we'll have a new player come up to contend.
It's going to be Jordan Gage launching from the inside. He's going to get the lead here, coming through, back racing on lap 63.
Gage from the bottom all the way to the top. Hennigan dive to the inside of him, and he's going to go for the lead here in turn 3.
Bit of contact through the midfield, but they seem to keep it straight as we stay under green. It's going to be Hennigan clearing Gage for the race lead. Now Hennigan going to look back to the outside as Gage throws another slider. He'll clear up. Hennigan goes back low. Here comes Ethan Johnson as well. Maybe going for a 2-for-1 deal. Johnson gets his left sides into the grass, blocks off a crossover from Jordan Gage. As this is incredible racing up at the front of the field.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast these 3 have stayed. Big moment for Johnson there. He gets split right in the middle. And now
big slider.
Gage.
Oh my goodness. Barely gets cleared. Jordan Gage does on Hennigan. Hennigan shoots back low, clears, and takes the lead now, it seems like, for a more permanent amount of time. This is just insane racing.
Big move from Gage right there on the inside. That was crazy. Nearly threw himself off the track, though. It feels like every time they make these moves, they're going to throw themselves off, as now they're kind of single-filed out, following nose to tail on that outside.
Yeah, it seems like everyone has single-filed themselves out, at least for the time being. William Hargraves now making a bit of a charge into P4. There was a pretty big gap between the top 3 and him. Seems like he's now wanting to latch on to those top 3 as they're battling right behind Jeremy Sexton, Evan Monaghan, side by side for the 5th place spot. It's going to be Sexton around the outside, seems to get the run there. Ellington and Revis right behind him. Going to be side by side for second.
Yeah, side by side for that second spot. Gage going to dive down on the inside, try and get clear, but Johnson back to his inside, and this lets Hennigan get a bit of a gap from him now.
Yeah, with these 2 battling, it is only helping Hennigan. Hennigan looking in his mirror saying, "Thank you, I'm leaving." And he has pulled over a second gap already as Gage shows another slider. Will not let Ethan Johnson go by. Ethan Johnson desperate to get through at this point. William Hargraves looking for an opportunity from both of them. Johnson will slide up. It seems like might be the move that sticks, as Gage is going to follow him through the corner. Ethan Johnson officially claims second place.
Oh, Har was sideways right in front of Hennigan there and pulled to the infield. Thankfully, he avoided that and will avoid a caution as he'll tow his car back to pit lane. But Hennigan, real big moment right there with that lap car right in front of him.
Yeah, Hunter Allen, very close to disaster there. Running P15 right in front of the leader. Gets loose, finds a hole, and shoots through it. And he avoids a caution. Unfortunately, tows it back to pit lane. That will be his day done. And leaves 14 cars left here on the track.
Yeah, these guys really moving that lane up. They've got their right rear probably about as high as they can go. And even some of the top 3 have had some little moments here where they've got a little over-rotated, come back down the racetrack, and they're trying to hang on the best they can right now.
As we've hit now lap 75 of 100 here tonight. Only 25 laps to go after we get past the line this time by. And it's going to be Dustin Hennigan, your race leader. Looking back through the field a little more, there is some battling going on. Everyone is single file currently, but shaping up for battles as you see guys like Jeremy Berger, Brian Wells trying to run the top side. Wells was in 17th. Gets into the side of Berger, actually, as Berger clipped the top of the cushion there. Wells up to 9th. He's had a pretty good recovery drive. And right on the back bumper of the good part of the rest of the field. So if he's able to keep pushing forward, he might be able to find himself with a shot at least the top 5 in a couple of laps time.
Yeah, and as we close in toward the end of this race, you gotta wonder who's used up their right rear and who maybe has a little bit left in the tank to work with. But these guys have run 78 hard laps around this racetrack, and that right rear tire definitely going to be a little more worn out. And the more worn that right rear is, the less grip you have to get off the corner, and it's tougher to keep that speed up.
Absolutely. I mean, you see Brian Wells running the outside. He's the only driver up there still. He's like everyone else, at least through this midfield, is sticking with the middle to the bottom at this point in the run, as he's going to get to the outside of Ellington and probably going to claim that 8th place spot, and he does at the line that time by.
Yeah, looking up toward the front, I'm just really impressed with how these guys seem to reach out and put their right rear right where they need to, especially in turn 1, where there's that little strip of tacky, unused racetrack that they're able to find every time and get that car rotated through the corner.
Yeah, I mean, really a masterclass. As you can see here with the right rear cam, it's quite impressive what these guys do. I mean, just right on that cushion, just absolutely no gap in between. You can see the entire racetrack here, drivers all over it, just doing their best to get around the racetrack here in the closing laps. Coming to 15 to go and just a couple laps time here, as we're really closing to the final stages of this race.
Yeah, and as we do, we're starting to catch some lap traffic, and this will be the toughest lap traffic these guys have dealt with all night long, as these cars are going to be much quicker than some of the other ones they were able to clear very quickly, but these guys, they're going to have to maneuver their way around a little bit, and that could bring Johnson back right to that rear bumper of Hagen, and perhaps maybe another car into the mix as well, though those top two have really broken off from the field.
I believe Jordan Gage must have had an incident or something. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but now 5 seconds between second and third, as a massive gap has been built. But Ethan Johnson here is now putting in the work, gaining time lap after lap on Dustin Hennigan. As here he comes, you can see the gap, 1.5 car lengths now, as he's really tracked down the back bumper of that 16 junior.
Yeah, and right as that happens, we got 3 wide between lap cars right in front of him. Hagen's guy will look out his windshield and look out the rear. He's got trouble all around him. Let's see if he can hang on to this lead here as the lap's winding down. But Johnson can look to the inside for the lead, it looks like.
Yeah.
Sliding up.
Oh, very close slider there. Ethan Johnson does clear him. Hennigan will slice right back through as, Ethan Johnson very high through the corner, gets it woed down a little bit, actually cuts down for a bit of a late apex there. As, yeah, Hennigan's got 3 lappers right in front of him he's going to have to deal with very shortly here. And this is going to get good.
Yeah, absolutely. And Johnson, we know he's got a little bit left in the tank, it seems like, maybe a little more than Hagen, as he's pulled right up that rear bumper, and looks like he's going to go for a move here to the inside. Not really room for him to slide up in front, and Hagen's going to get the run off the top and clear once again, maintaining that lead. But we're down to 11 laps to go, coming back 10. Whoa! Contact right there with that lap car. I think that was...
This is Castle there. I mean, it
Castle.
seems like Hennigan says enough is enough. I'm going
to
go past one of you, ship the other one off. We're trying to win this race, and we'll get in front of that. Throw himself off. Ethan Johnson's going to go to the race lead. Very, very hard racing from the two of them there. Hennigan goes off, and wow, what a change in momentum there. Ethan Johnson with a 2-second lead out of the blue.
Yeah, just no surprise with how hard it is to run that top consistently, and I was impressed how well they've done it all night long, but it had to happen eventually, it felt like. And right there, unfortunate moment for our leader is we car in the wall right in front of Johnson. That's Castle. He's had a struggle tonight. Manages to get back going, but he hit that outside wall in turn 4 right in front of our leader. This lap traffic giving him some trouble, and I'm not sure it's over yet for Johnson. He's got some more lap traffic to work through now.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the story of the race painted all over Seth Castle's race car tonight. A lot of damage on that machine, and unfortunate for him, but not another battle going on through the middle of the field here. Actually, a pretty big battle going on, as 5th place Evan Monaghan, 6th Jeremy Sexton, Jim Revis 7th. 3 of them going at it right now for that top 5 on the back end of that. As it seems like everyone up front, maybe other than Jordan Gage or Jordan Gage and William Hargraves seem to have decided where they're going to finish, or at least if anything doesn't happen. 3 seconds now between Ethan Johnson and Dustin Hennigan.
Yeah, 5 laps to go now for Johnson, who's working his way through more lap traffic. He's got away from Hennigan quite significantly now, and not going to have too much trouble as long as this race stays green. He puts a slider on that 47 of Tyler Ryan, putting him a lap down right there, and continues to work that high lane, probably taking a little bit of that aggression off, trying to keep it on the racetrack, not throw himself off like we saw with Hennigan.
Hennigan's actually bleeding time quite quickly now, about 4 seconds now behind your race leader as we hit 3 laps to go. Hennigan is just driving the wheels off of it right now, and I think that might be what's leading to his demise at the moment. Has had a couple of close calls with that embanking there. As Ethan Johnson now, with just 2 laps to go, has absolutely cooked the rest of this field through the second half of this race.
Yeah, it felt like he was lurking around all night long, and then unfortunate moment for Hennigan, maybe brought on by pressure from Johnson, but Johnson going to come around and take the white flag here, and he's just had a great night of racing overall.
It's going to be Ethan Johnson, white flag, 1 lap to go here in the Performance Racing League 100 at Lernerville. Ethan Johnson going to come through turns 3 and 4, and Ethan Johnson in the 11 with the 11K rating, going to be your winner here at Lernerville. Heck of a run for that 11 team. It's going to be Dustin Hennigan coming home just short in P2 after that incident of meeting the forest. William Hargraves is going to take over the 3rd spot, going to get around Jordan Gage. I believe Gage had a bit of an incident of his own. And Evan Monaghan going to come home in P5. Let's take a look at your full finishing results. Ethan Johnson going to be your winner here tonight, going to claim that reward from Performance Racing League for winning tonight's event. Dustin Hennigan P2, William Hargraves P3, Jordan Gage P4, just finishing in front of 5th place Evan Monaghan, Jeremy Sexton P6, Jim Revis P7, James Ellington comes home 8th. Last car on the lead lap, Tyler Ryan will be P9, and Ken Atha rounds out your top 10.
Looking back, outside our top 10, Jeremy Berger comes home 11th. 12th is going to be Ricky Mandonja. 13th is going to be Seth Castle. 14th, Brian Wells. 15th, Hunter Allen. 16th, Dylan Alton. 17th, Tyler Clunan. 18th, going to be Carter Cornwell. 19th, Randy Cornwell, and 20th, Cody Heathcock. And then further back, we've got Braden Carter in 21st and 22nd, Jason Gunnels.
Yeah, what a race we saw tonight from these guys. Absolute show from everyone involved here tonight. Let's take a second to get some interviews with our top finishers here from the Lernerville Speedway. First off is going to be your race winner, Ethan Johnson. Let's get him up into the booth. Hey, Ethan, this is Josh in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations, man. You take home another win. I'm sure that's not too unfamiliar for you, but congratulations nonetheless. I mean, coming through the closing stages of that race, 10 laps to go, you were stuck behind Dustin there, gaining time, but with him throwing the car off the berm there, what were you thinking?
Really, I was kind of hoping that they stayed green, and I think I was going to be able to beat him through lap traffic. I mean, Dustin's, he's really good in these. He's probably got a little bit more experience in these, but I feel like my racecraft and knowing who I'm racing around could have been a little bit better. But I was just hoping that stayed green. I got stuck racing with Jordan that let Dustin pull out, and I ran him down for about I think a second and a half back or so. I just needed to make consistent laps, and I figured I'd have a little bit better tire than him, but He still had me beat on that. So I was just trying to make consistent lines and basically run the same lap time every lap, and wait for him to make a mistake, and he did, and I capitalized on it.
Absolutely capitalized indeed. Took home the win after it seemed like it was going to be a good battle between the two of you. Through the early stage of the race, seemed like a lot of battling going on throughout the midfield and getting up to the front. How did you manage to get to the front of the field in the first place?
Really, in these long races, it's just you got to discipline yourself. There's people ripping around me around the top, and cautions definitely played in my favor. But I just told myself to stay to the bottom, stay in the grip down there, try to save a little bit of tire instead of moving up and ripping like everybody else did. So I just cautions definitely helped, and feel like I was in the right place at the right time. I probably have a lot more experience than a lot of these people in these long races. So I was just trying to discipline myself and stay true to what I know.
Absolutely, man. Well, you did an impeccable job of that tonight. Before we let you go, is there any sponsors, family, friends you'd like to thank for getting this win?
Yeah, I got to thank Tyler for putting this race on and everybody else who was involved with that. You for broadcasting, Big Time Race Wraps for doing the wrap, JC Floyd over at Cocky Floyd Consulting, Jeremy Sexton, everybody over at Doghouse, just everybody else, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate you coming out and racing with us tonight, and for taking the time to chat with us after this one. Congratulations once again, and hopefully we'll see you sometime soon.
Hopefully. Thank you.
That was Ethan Johnson coming to take the time to chat with us tonight after a big race win here in the Performance Racing League 100 at Lernerville. Coming home just short, however, was your second place finisher of Dustin Hennigan. We'll bring in the booth now.
Yeah, Dustin, Jay in the booth, you got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Well, an unfortunate end for you. You led 32 laps and felt like probably the most dominant car a lot of the time tonight, but unfortunately pushed a little too hard. It seemed like got that right rear off the racetrack. Just talk us through your night and your overall race.
Yeah, I talked to Johnson, and I had more right rears. I felt like I saved pretty good. Started 11th, got up to the lead pretty early, and then I slid that lap car, and he slid me back, and I just got frustrated and went off in there and jumped it. So I just got to slow myself down right there with lap traffic and hit my marks better.
Yeah, for sure. But overall, a lot to be proud with. Really came through the field. Before we let you go, you have anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, for y'all, for broadcasting, Tyler and everybody that does this for us, give us a place to race for a little bit of money, and it was fun.
Awesome. Well, we hope to see you again next time out, and congratulations on second place.
Thank you.
That was Dustin Hennigan. Appreciate him taking the time to chat with us after this one. A frustrating loss for him, but I'm sure he'll be able to rebound next time out and get it done. And for our last interview, we're going to get our third place finisher of William Hargraves into the booth. Hey, William, this is Josh in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Oh, congratulations on a podium run tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a ton of what happened to you, but I believe it was a late race battle with Jordan Gage there. How'd you manage to get around him at the end?
I was just unfortunate for him. He just kind of slid off the track a little bit, so I was just able to kind of barely slip on by him and just keep on cruising. But no, overall, we'll take it. And that was a pretty tough track there at the end, at least for me. I haven't been racing a bunch, or I haven't raced at all here for a good month and a half or so. So that top got real slick. It was really hard to keep it on the track for sure.
Absolutely, a tough track, really slicked off there. We saw you able to catch those top three there for a while, and do you think you had anything for the top two? What it ended up being with Hennigan and Johnson there, or were they just a little out of the league today?
No, I definitely, for like you said there, I was able to hang with them there just for a little bit, but then caution came out, and it was like the track changed or my tires changed or something, and I had nothing for them for sure. After that, they just drove right on by. See you right away. I didn't even see what was going on. They were so far out in front of me there for a while.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was like a second gap, and then it turned around and it was 5 seconds. So yeah, it definitely changed quick. Well, before we let you go here tonight, is there anybody you'd like to thank for helping you get this run tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank you guys for letting me join the series and coming out to play. And I gotta thank all my DWR racing guys and Grumpy Fucks Graphics and Malm Electric. Also, Viv's Retail Liquor. Big shout out to Viv for all she does for us. And just all the racers and everybody that's supporting the broadcast and the league.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate the kind words, and hopefully we'll see you out here sometime soon again in the future.
For sure, man. I appreciate it, and hope to be back next week.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and hope you have a great night.
Thanks. You too, man.
That was William Hargraves. Appreciate him taking the time to talk to us here in the booth. Had a great night tonight. Came home with a podium. And yeah, I mean, really saw a heck of a race tonight between, the entire field put on a show, especially at the front there for a while. Obviously ended up getting strung out. Was going to see a pretty good battle, I believe, to the end between Ethan Johnson and Dustin Hennigan, but Hennigan puts a wheel wrong, flies off the track, and we have an Ethan Johnson walk-away win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw a little bit of everything tonight. Cars bottom to top, they were left and right, and unfortunately had a run of cautions there through the middle, but lots of exciting racing, lots of slide jobs, and of course, a couple cars going flying as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, definitely an exciting start to, continuation of the NSR Challenge Series here at Lernerville. Not sure where we're headed next, but I'm sure we'll have another race around the corner. As if we keep getting races as good as this one, I mean, there's no reason to stop running them. So, obviously, we appreciate everything that Tyler does for having us out here to broadcast this league, and I appreciate all the racers for showing up and putting on a heck of a show for us tonight. And we want to thank each and every one of you for coming out to watch the broadcast, to spend your Tuesday night with us here at the virtual Lernerville Speedway here on the iRacing service. And also want to give a big shout out to the Performance Racing League. Please go give them your support. Please go race with them. Racing every Friday, I believe. So if you're open Friday nights, they all will have a slot for you. Want to thank them for coming out, giving us the support to run this race, to come on board with us, and hopefully we'll have them back on soon. But yeah, go show out Performance Racing League and get them drivers, sponsorship, and publicity that they deserve. So we want to thank them. And yeah, Jay, you got any closing remarks for us?
No, I think that's about it. Just another great night of racing on iRacing as usual.
Absolutely. And yeah, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more iRacing streams and iRacing content here on the Ignite Sim Racing Network. Until next time, this has been Josh Patterson, Jay Mulder on the Ignite Sim Racing Network, broadcasting the Performance Racing League 100 at Lernerville, presented by the North-South Racing Challenge Series, presented by Ignite Sim Racing Network. We appreciate you taking the time to spend your Tuesday night with us, and we hope you have a fantastic end to your night. This has been Josh Patterson, Jay Mulder, signing out. We'll see you guys next time.